You know, life can sometimes feel like a constant race, can it? We're always chasing something, success, approval, happiness. It's as though we have to prove something to ourselves, to others, to the world. But here's the truth, dear one. What if you didn't need to chase anything at all? What if you didn't need to struggle or push or try so hard? What if you could simply relax and trust that the universe has a plan for you? What if you could just surrender to the flow of life and trust that everything is happening exactly as it should? I know. It's hard to even imagine letting go, right? We've been conditioned our entire lives to believe that we have to fight for everything. We have to work tirelessly, sacrifice, prove ourselves over and over again. But here's the thing. This belief keeps us in a state of constant stress and anxiety. It keeps us from living fully. We don't give ourselves permission to relax, to just be, because we're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. We're always afraid that if we stop for just a moment, everything will fall apart. But I'm here to tell you, with all my heart, that this simply isn't true. Life is not a battle, and you do not have to fight for every breath you take. In fact, when you trust the universe, when you allow yourself to relax and let go of that constant struggle, you create space for miracles to unfold. Take a moment and think about this. When was the last time you truly allowed yourself to relax? I mean really relax, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. How often do you catch yourself in a loop of thoughts about the future or the past, or worrying about things that may or may not even happen? How often do you second-guess your choices or feel guilty for taking time for yourself? My dear one, this is the burden of believing you have to control everything. What if, just for today, you made a choice to trust? To trust that the universe is guiding you, that everything you need is already on its way to you, and that you don't have to figure it all out alone. What if you could stop trying to control every little thing and simply allow yourself to be? Trusting the universe doesn't mean that you don't take action, that you sit back and do nothing. It means that you act from a place of peace, from a place of knowing that everything will unfold as it is meant to. It's like being in a boat on a river, gently letting the current take you where it wants to go, knowing that the journey will lead you exactly where you need to be. I understand how challenging this can be. We've all been there. We've all had moments of doubt, moments of fear. I've been there too, but I've also learned something profound along the way. When we trust, when we let go, when we allow ourselves to be guided, life opens up in ways we could never have imagined. It's as if the universe steps in and says, "I've got this. You don't need to worry anymore." And when that happens, the weight we've been carrying just melts away. Let me share something with you from my own experience. There was a time in my life when I believed I had to control everything. I thought that if I didn't keep a tight grip on things, they would fall apart. I had been through my share of struggles, physical pain, emotional turmoil, and deep feelings of unworthiness. I had to prove myself. I had to show the world that I was strong enough, capable enough, deserving enough. It was exhausting, and no matter how hard I tried, it never seemed to be enough. The harder I fought, the more drained I became. I was constantly looking for the next thing to fix, to change, to make better. But nothing I did was ever quite enough to fill that inner void. Then one day, something shifted. I don't even know how it happened, but I remember realizing that I was exhausted. not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. I had been so caught up in controlling everything that I had forgotten how to trust. Trust in myself, trust in life, trust in the universe. I had forgotten that life is not something you have to fight for, but something you are invited to experience and enjoy. It was then that I made the decision to let go, to stop forcing things to happen, to release my grip on all the expectations I had placed on myself, to allow life to unfold at its own pace without resistance. And as soon as I made that decision, a sense of peace washed over me. I felt a deep knowing, a certainty that everything would work out, that I didn't have to have all the answers, and that it was okay to take a step back and simply trust. In the weeks and months that followed, I began to notice the difference. Opportunities started to appear in my life in the most unexpected ways. People came into my life who supported and encouraged me. Things that had once felt like struggles began to ease. And the most beautiful part? I no longer felt like I had to do everything on my own. I no longer felt alone in the journey. I know that life isn't always easy. I know that there are times when it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. But I also know this: you do not have to carry it alone. You do not have to solve everything by yourself. You are supported, you are loved, and the universe is always working on your behalf, even when you can't see it. When you trust, you open yourself up to that support. You allow the universe to guide you in ways that are beyond your understanding. And that, my dear, is where the magic happens. Let me ask you something. What would it feel like to release the burden of control? What would it feel like to take a deep breath, relax, and trust that everything is happening exactly as it should? What if you didn't have to figure it all out right now? What if it was okay to just be in this moment, knowing that the future will unfold in its own time? I want you to imagine for a moment that you're standing at the edge of a beautiful ocean. The waves are gently lapping at the shore, and there's a soft breeze in the air. You're standing there fully present in the moment, knowing that the ocean is vast and endless, but you don't have to control it. You don't have to make it move in any particular way. You don't have to worry about how far the tide will go or when it will come back in. You simply stand there, feeling the sand beneath your feet, and trust that the ocean will be there, always moving, always flowing, exactly as it should. That ocean is life, and you are the one standing there, trusting, relaxing, knowing that everything is as it should be. But here's the thing, my dear one. You can't force the ocean to behave the way you want. You can't make the waves come in faster or the tide go out further. You can only stand there, present, open, and trusting. And when you do that, the universe will begin to align with your deepest desires, bringing to you the things you've been asking for in the most perfect way. When you trust, you open the door to infinite possibilities. You stop pushing against the flow of life, and instead, you flow with it. And that's where the real beauty happens. When you relax, when you trust, when you allow yourself to simply be. It's not about doing more, it's about being more. More present, more connected, more at peace. So I want to invite you right now to take a deep breath and let go. Let go of the need to control. Let go of the worry, the fear, the doubt. Let go of the belief that you have to fix everything. Just for a moment, allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to trust that the universe is guiding you and that everything is working out perfectly, even if you can't see it yet. Take a moment to feel that peace, Feel the release. Feel the love and support that is all around you. You are never alone. You are always held. And when you trust, you align with the incredible power of the universe, which is always working on your behalf. Trust. Relax. The universe has a plan for you, and you are exactly where you need to be. I know that trusting the universe isn't always easy. It's like learning to let go of the wheel when you've been driving your whole life, trying to navigate every twist and turn, trying to avoid every bump in the road. But what if you didn't need to be in control of everything? What if the road you're on right now is exactly the one you're meant to be on, even though it doesn't always look the way you imagined? The truth is, when we try to control every single detail, we create resistance. We're fighting against the flow of life, trying to force things to happen in our own time and in our own way. But what if you didn't have to fight? What if you could surrender to life and allow it to guide you with all its surprises and uncertainties? Think about it. Every time you've ever truly trusted in life, something miraculous has unfolded. Maybe it didn't look the way you thought it would, but it always brought you exactly what you needed. I want you to look back, even just for a moment, at the times in your life when you surrendered to the process, when you let go of the fear, the need to control, and you allowed yourself to trust in the journey. Can you see the beauty in those moments? Can you see how, in hindsight, everything worked out better than you ever could have planned? I've seen it happen in my own life. There were times when I faced incredible challenges, times when I felt alone and unsure. But when I chose to trust, things began to shift. The right people came into my life. Opportunities appeared that I hadn't even thought possible. And most importantly, I began to feel a sense of inner peace that I had never known before. I want you to know that peace is available to you too. It's not something you have to earn or work for. It's already within you. It's simply waiting for you to stop struggling and allow yourself to trust in the process of life. Trust that you are supported, that everything is happening for your growth, even if you can't see it right now. Sometimes, it's the hardest moments that bring us the greatest gifts. Life has a way of leading us to exactly where we need to be, even if it doesn't always make sense in the moment. Maybe you've been through pain or heartbreak, or perhaps you're facing a challenge that feels overwhelming. But what if this challenge is an opportunity for you to step into a greater version of yourself? What if this moment, this uncertainty, is the universe inviting you to trust that there is a bigger picture and you are part of it? The universe is always working on your behalf, even when you can't see the bigger plan. It's easy to feel like you're on your own in the tough times, but I promise you, you're not. You are loved, you are seen, and you are supported in ways you might not even realize. Trust that even in the hardest moments, the universe is guiding you towards something greater. I know it's hard to see that sometimes, especially when things feel like they're falling apart. But in those moments of doubt and fear, remember that everything is temporary. Nothing in life stays the same forever. Challenges come and go, just like the waves in the ocean, and each wave carries you closer to the shore, closer to a place of peace, closer to the life that's waiting for you on the other side. So right now, in this moment, I want to invite you to take a deep breath. Feel the tension in your body begin to melt away. Let go of all the things you feel you need to control. Trust that you are being led, that you are on the right path, and that everything is working out perfectly in its own time. It's okay to relax. It's okay to let go. Trust in the universe. Trust in yourself. And know that the best is yet to come. I know it's hard to let go sometimes. It's hard to trust when you've spent so much of your life trying to control everything. We are all so conditioned to believe that if we don't stay on top of things, if we don't push and fight and plan and organize every little detail, then we won't get what we want. Or worse, we might lose everything we've worked for. But I want you to really hear me when I say this. You do not need to control everything. You do not have to be the one holding the steering wheel at all times. It's okay to let go. It's okay to trust. I know that might sound scary, especially if you're someone who's been through difficult times in the past. Maybe life hasn't always gone according to plan, and I understand why you might feel that you need to keep a tight grip on things to prevent more pain or disappointment. But here's the truth. The tighter you hold on, the more tension you create. The more you try to control, the more you fight against the flow of life. And that resistance is what keeps you stuck. Imagine for a moment that you're holding onto a rope with both hands, pulling as hard as you can. Your arms are straining, your body tense, and you're so focused on holding that rope that you can't see the beauty around you. But what if, instead of pulling and fighting, you could simply release the rope, trust that you are safe, and allow yourself to be carried by the flow of life? Trusting the universe means letting go of the need to control the outcome and simply allowing things to unfold in their own perfect time. Now, I know it's not always easy to trust, especially when things feel uncertain. When we don't know what's going to happen next, it's natural to feel anxious or afraid. But here's the thing. Uncertainty is a part of life. It's a sign that you are stepping into new territory. And new things always come with a little bit of discomfort. But the magic, the miracles, the blessings, they often come when we step into the unknown, when we surrender to life as it is and stop trying to predict or control every little thing. Have you ever looked back on a time in your life when things weren't going the way you planned, but in hindsight, you could see how everything worked out perfectly? Maybe you didn't understand why something happened at the time, but later on, you saw the bigger picture, and it all made sense. Maybe the job you didn't get led you to something better, or the relationship that ended opened space for you to discover a new part of yourself. Those times are proof that even when we don't understand it, the universe is always guiding us, always moving us toward what we need. Not always what we want, but what we need. That's the key right there. Trusting that what is meant for you will never pass you by. Even when it feels like things aren't working out the way you thought, or you feel like you're lost, the universe has a plan. And it's always a plan that's far greater than anything you could have ever imagined. I've seen this happen in my own life, time and time again. There were moments when I thought I had it all figured out, only to find that life had something different in store for me. At times, I fought against it, frustrated and angry because things weren't going the way I expected. But once I finally surrendered, once I let go of my grip on the outcome, that's when things began to shift. That's when the magic happened. And I'm not saying this to make light of the struggles we all face. Life can be tough, but I'm telling you that when you trust, when you stop fighting and release your grip, you create space for things to flow in a way that you could never have planned for. Trusting the universe doesn't mean that you sit back and do nothing. It means you take inspired action, but you do so with a sense of peace, knowing that you are not alone in this journey. You take the steps you are guided to take, but you do it without the heavy burden of needing to control the outcome. You act, and then you trust that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring you the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances at the right time. I want you to remember this. You are not a passive participant in your life. You have the power to create, to act, to choose, but you don't have to do it all by yourself. There's a greater force at work, and it's always supporting you. It's guiding you toward your highest good, even when you can't see it in the moment. It's time to stop worrying, stop doubting, and stop trying to figure everything out on your own. The universe has a plan for you, and it's so much better than anything you could have ever imagined. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to know exactly how everything will unfold. Just take a deep breath, relax, and trust. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, that you are being led to exactly where you are supposed to go. So, let go of the need to control. Let go of the fear and the doubt. Trust in the process of life. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly for you, even if you can't see it right now. You are not alone. The universe has your back. And when you trust, that's when the true magic begins. Now I want you to take a moment and reflect on the fact that you are not meant to do this alone. Life was never meant to be a solitary journey. We are all interconnected, and the universe has woven a beautiful, intricate design for each of us. You are a unique piece of that design, and just as a tree grows with the help of the soil, the sun, and the rain, you are growing with the support of the world around you, even when you don't always see it. I understand that it's easy to feel as though you're alone in your struggles. I've been there. There are times when you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world, and it's hard to imagine that there's anything or anyone out there to help. But I promise you, the universe is always working with you. It's guiding you, holding you, and providing what you need, though it may not always come in the form or timing that you expect. And that's where trust comes in. Trust is the ability to surrender to life, to lean into the unknown, and to know that even when things seem difficult, you're being taken care of in ways you can't always see or understand. Think about how often you've worried about something in the past. And yet, when you look back, you see that everything worked out in the end. It may not have gone the way you planned, but it went the way it was supposed to. Life is a process of constant unfolding. Even when we feel like we're standing still, the universe is still at work. It's like planting a seed in the ground. At first, you don't see anything happening, but under the surface, roots are forming, growth is taking place, and when the time is right, a beautiful plant will emerge. It may take time, but trust that there is always growth beneath the surface. You are growing even when you don't see it. And when you trust the process, when you allow yourself to relax into the flow of life, the most beautiful things will bloom. There's also the idea that we often place so much pressure on ourselves to get everything right. We believe that if we don't do everything perfectly, then we failed. I want you to hear this now. You don't need to be perfect. Life is not about perfection. It's about progress, it's about evolution, and it's about trusting that every step you take, even the missteps, are leading you exactly where you need to go. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to stumble. You are allowed to not have all the answers. What matters is that you are open, that you are willing to trust, and that you are continuing to move forward, no matter how slowly or imperfectly. And here's the most powerful part. When you stop fighting against life, when you stop trying to control every outcome, you open yourself up to the beauty of synchronicity. Things begin to happen that you could never have planned. Opportunities arise that seem to come out of nowhere. People enter your life at just the right moment. It's as if the universe is conspiring in your favor, and when you trust, you align yourself with that flow. Suddenly, the things you've been striving for don't feel like a struggle anymore. They come to you with ease because you are no longer forcing them to happen. You are no longer fighting. You are allowing. When you trust the universe, you allow for the miraculous to unfold. You let go of the need to know every detail of the journey. You let go of the fear of what might happen. You trust that life has its own rhythm, its own pace, and that you are being guided along the perfect path for you. That path may not be straight. It may not always be easy, but it will always lead you to exactly where you need to be. I want to remind you that the universe does not give you what you want, but rather what you need for your growth. You may think you know what's best for you, but there's a higher wisdom at play. Sometimes what you think you want isn't actually what will bring you the most joy or fulfillment. Trusting the universe means trusting that whatever you're going through right now is part of your growth, part of your journey, even the challenges you face, even the moments of pain or doubt. They are helping to shape you into the person you are becoming. And one day, when you look back, you will see that those moments of struggle were just stepping stones leading you to something even greater. The beauty of trusting the universe is that it allows you to be free, free from worry, free from fear, free from the constant pressure to do it all yourself. It allows you to be present, to enjoy the journey instead of constantly striving for a destination. Life is not just about reaching some final point. Life is about the moments in between, the moments of joy, love, peace, and even the moments of challenge. It's about the lessons, the growth, and the connections that shape us into who we are meant to be. So as you go forward, I want you to remember that everything is happening for you, not to you. The challenges, the triumphs, the twists and turns, they are all part of a greater plan. You are not alone. You are supported. You are loved. And you are exactly where you need to be right now. Trust that the universe is guiding you. Trust that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. Trust that all the things you desire are already on their way to you. And when you trust, when you allow yourself to relax into the flow of life, the universe will begin to bring you everything you've been asking for. And it will come in the most unexpected, beautiful ways. You are deserving of all the goodness the universe has to offer. You don't need to control it. You don't need to chase it. All you have to do is relax, trust, and allow it to come to you in its own perfect time. Trust that the universe has your back, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. Relax, trust, and know that the universe is working in your favor every step of the way.